Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome into New World News. Today is April 2nd, 2021, and I started this new channel, this World News channel, to just document kind of what's going on in the world. I didn't want to input any of my political opinions or my side. I kind of want to just have a open channel of videos where there could be a discussion in the comment section and I could hear from the community what everyone's opinions and thoughts were on certain topics. And today, I know I haven't posted any updates since probably the end of last year after the election, but I wanted to post today. It's April 2nd again, like I said, because today was a huge news day and I wanted to cover this and get it up on my channel, and I want to get the channel back going to where I'm uploading 3 or 4 times a week at least. So if you didn't hear today's news, the Major League Baseball game, All-Star game, excuse me, the Major League Baseball All-Star game is to be held in Atlanta, Georgia this year for 2021, later on this year. Opening day was yesterday for Major League Baseball. And of course, Atlanta, Georgia has been, and Georgia as a state was very fiercely fought during the presidential and Senate runoff elections. And recently as last week, a new law was passed, voter law passed in Georgia. Several different points were included in it. I'm not going to go through it all. I'll link it below. You can read the updates to the voter laws. But basically in Georgia, what has happened is it's become illegal to give food or water or gifts or help to anyone in a voting line. Second, they have made the ballot box restrictions a little harsher. They did that because for multiple reasons. Again, you can read it, but mainly they wanted to make the security of the ballot boxes better, the locations of them better. And also, voter ID laws were adjusted to requiring IDs, people, one person, one ID, the whole thing. So you can read through that whole law, I'll link it below. With that said, the people of Georgia and many people across the country are saying that these laws are targeting Democratic and minority voters to suppress them. And the reason they're saying that is because they say it makes them harder because the ballot boxes won't be as close to them. They'll be farther for them to travel, which a lot of Democratic and minority voters in the state or poorer voters who tend to lean Democratic do not have their own transportation. They rely on public transportation. Some of these locations won't have public transportation, or it'll be farther and more money to get to, and thus they may not be able to do it. Therefore, they're being suppressed. Also, with the not giving them water and food, they're saying that people are being forced to stand in line for 4 and 5 hours. And if they can't get food or water or help, then they may not want to stand in line, and therefore their vote will be suppressed. And so this is what goes on and on and on through the thing, and this is the two sides of it. So Major League Baseball has decided to remove the All-Star game from Atlanta. They've canceled it in Atlanta. They're moving it somewhere else. They haven't said where yet. Not Los Angeles, which is 2022. They said they're going to find another city. Milwaukee has been suggested because this year's All-Star game was going to honor Hank Aaron. Of course, he was an Atlanta Brave. He passed away this past few months ago, I believe. A couple months ago, he passed away, and they were going to honor him. He also played in Milwaukee, so people were talking about the All-Star game going to Milwaukee in order to continue the honoring of Hank Aaron in one of his home team cities. So that's an option. We haven't heard yet. But the reason they removed the All-Star game, sorry for the wind, guys, from Atlanta is because Major League Baseball disagrees with the law that was passed in Georgia for voters. And they said if Georgia is going to pass these laws to suppress voters, they believe in equality for all voters, and they don't want to hold their game in the city and state that passed this law. Now, on the flip side, the Atlanta Braves as a team and the governor of Georgia who helped pass this law, Republican controlled state, a Republican Congress, Republican House, passed this, have said they're not going to be bullied, they're not going to stand down. MLB, or the Atlanta Braves, has told MLB that they don't agree with it, that it's depriving the city, depriving the fans of the game, depriving the city of the obvious income and the money that they would make off of it. So there's two very viciously fought sides to this. Of course, your opinion is welcome in the comments below as always, but here's the thing. I kind of see this. Cancel culture is a real thing. Anybody who says cancel culture is not real is just fooling themselves. It works for both sides too, Democratic and Republican. When somebody doesn't like the opinion of somebody else, they will absolutely call on people to boycott and cancel them. We can't have a difference of opinion in this country, because if you do, you run the risk as a business of losing potential income and customers. That's just the way it is. It's true. It happens. And I'm not saying whether I agree or disagree, because there are some times where people do really bad things and they deserve to be boycotted. You know, if you're found to be a child predator or a criminal, then yeah, maybe people shouldn't frequent your business or give you any kind of money or business. That's bad. But for having a difference in political opinions, that's kind of the part where I draw the line, where I'm like, look, we can have differences of opinions. Now, people have a difference of opinion about the Georgia voting laws because one side says they're being suppressed and one side says, no, it's just voter security, where we require you to have an ID and show up and do this and do that. And I support every person that votes needs to be identified, and that's just the way it is. We have to show ID to buy tobacco, to buy alcohol, to board a plane with a boarding pass and an ID. There's a ton of things, to get a driver's license. There's a ton of things that we have to show proper ID to do. When you go get your driver's license for the first time, you have to show them some form of identification to prove who you are to get that license. So why shouldn't we have a proof of identification to vote for what is one of the most important things that our country does, if not the most important? Now, people say that there is an identification law, that every time they vote, they have to show ID, but there has been numerous reports of that just not being true. Of ballot box people dropping stuff in ballot boxes, never showing ID, people doing absentee and out-of-state voting and this and that. So they really got to make sure that the integrity of our elections is upheld. And, the Republican side rights are saying the Democrats are fighting this so hard and protesting this so hard because the election was obviously not the integrity of the election was not held up. They know it, and they're trying to fight any laws that will uphold that. And the Democrats are saying the Republicans are just are mad for losing elections and suppressing the vote so that the next time they can win. Who's right, who's wrong? Probably both. There's probably a little bit of both going on. There's probably Republicans that hope that these laws hurt the Democratic voters, and the Democrats who are voted without integrity or whatever had happened. There's always people saying there's no proof of it. There was a ton of evidence, videos, photos, under oath testimony, depositions. There was a ton of it, and to say that all of it is not true is just silly. Was there enough voter fraud to change the election? I don't know, maybe not. But was there some form of voter fraud? Absolutely. There was some level of it. Of course there was. How much, we don't know. But the elections have to be held with integrity, and that's just the way it is. And anybody who wants to cancel Major League Baseball or anything else over laws that try to do that is just silly to me. I'll put my opinion in that. I think cancel culture in general is silly. If you don't agree with someone's opinion, just move on. Don't shop at their business. Don't give them money. You don't got to go all out to attack them. There's one part of it, and then there's going over the line, and attacking them and canceling them is just over the line. So. I agree that everyone should be treated equally. Everyone has a fair right to vote. Everyone should have the equal access to voting, but we've got to find a better way. We have, ways through apps for people to check their credit and do bank accounts and do all that sort of stuff. Why can't we come up with a better way that everyone can agree on for voting? I don't know. Maybe you guys have an idea that you can put in the comment section below. But I just wanted to update this channel, put this video up, and I'll be on top of putting more videos up going forward. 3 to 4 a week is my goal, every other day, and hopefully we can stick to that schedule. And I appreciate you guys who are subscribed to the channel. If you're not, please do take a minute and subscribe to the channel, and I will update the news, politics, and world events, sports, whatever I can, as much as I can, as quickly as I can. And I will also say hearts go out to the officer that was killed at the Capitol building, today. 2 officers were rammed by an individual. One of them lost his life. Really sad story out of there. I'm not going to cover it in a separate video, but just terrible that somebody with probably a mental illness or anger issues decided to end somebody else's life, a Capitol police officer. So sad to hear that, but I'll leave that video, this video here at that note, and please do subscribe, like the video, and leave me a comment about your opinions on this, and I look forward to reading them. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time.